Good morning, everybody. Corey here, Alberta Bourbon Hunter. So I'm down here in Lethbridge today, gonna check out Andrew Hilton and see what they have in stock. So a little bit of background. This is kind of a boutique liquor store. I mean, they have all the regular stuff too, but they do have, this is where I got my first allocated bottles. Like I got my first Blanton's Gold, Green, I got my first E.H. Taylor down here. So these guys, they're definitely into the better stuff. They carry, a really good selection of everything. But, as far as, kind of allocated hard to get bottles, this is where I've had my best luck. Little bit of a, markup over where I've found bottles since in the market. But you know what? If they have stuff that I'm looking to get, I'm willing to pay a little bit of a markup. So anyways, down here in Lethbridge, is where the store is. Google it, you'll find them. And yeah, so if they'll let me film in the store, I'll definitely show you what they have available, and we'll see how that goes. If nothing else, I'll film what I buy in the store, because I don't think I've ever left here without buying a bottle. They usually have a really good selection. So we'll see how this turns out, and we'll go from there. Good morning, everybody. Corey here, Alberta Bourbon Hunter. So I'm having a bit of an issue filming in stores. It doesn't seem like anybody's really, the corporate stores, they're like, oh, you got to get approval from corporate and things like that, but we don't think it's going to happen. Even the Andrew Hilton that I went to yesterday, shot the video outside their store. He's like, I got to run it past the manager. So, give me your information and I'll see what he has to say. But it doesn't look like I'm going to have a whole bunch of success hunting in the stores. So I think what this channel's maybe going to morph into is, if I can shoot some outside video when I'm at a store, and then I'll more or less do an unboxing of what I bought in my day out back when I get home. Now I'm hoping to set up a bar here in the basement so that it's a little bit nicer, easier, friendlier to shoot here's what I got video, but just for today, because I had a really good day yesterday. Wine and Beyond had a bunch of stuff on sale. I found a kind of rare-ish bottle at that Andrew Hilton. So, I got that. Co-op liquor stores had a couple of decent bottles, so I got some stuff there. So it was a big day in the realm of bourbon hunting. So I'm gonna kind of do a little unboxing, but it's just gonna be me saying, here's what I got, here's what I got, here's where I got it, and then, sticking it on the shelf behind me. It's going to be kind of a whatever, but at least you'll have an idea of, what's out there and what's on sale. Everything I bought at Wine and Beyond, except for one bottle, was on a crazy sale. Like I was saving $17 to $21 per bottle. So it was real good value. Like that's why I bought so many bottles. They were so cheap that basically buying those 4 bottles paid for another bottle. Anyways, so I'll flip the camera around. We'll do a little unboxing video, and then one of these days when I get my bar set up, I'll probably do some tastings, like open a bottle, here's what I think of it. I'm a huge Old Forester fan right now. That's really going hard with me. Always been a Buffalo Trace family fan. Everything from the Blantons, of course, the Eagle Rare, stuff like that. Those are really, really good to my palate. So that's what I like to drink a lot of. But, I've got a pretty good mix of a lot of stuff. As you can see behind me here, there's, the collection's coming along good. So anyways, I'll flip the camera around and we'll see what I bought yesterday. So here we have the box of goodies. Let's start with, got a real nice bottle of Rabbit Hole Rye. I don't know how well this is going to come in on camera. Anyways, Wine and Beyond had these on. A couple of the Rabbit Holes, and I bought both that were on sale. So I got the Rye. Just set that there for now. Let's see if I can find the matching. And I got the bourbon here. So I don't know if this is, I mean, it looks like it's coming in pretty good. This is a high rye double malt bourbon, so this can be pretty exciting for me to try. I'm not familiar with the Rabbit Hole stuff. I got the recommendation on Rabbit Hole from a distiller friend of mine. He says based on what I like to drink, these I should like. So I bought them yesterday. They were on sale, Wine and Beyond. I think they were $17 per bottle off. So, I mean, that was a good savings, you know, times two, right? Let's see what else I got from there. Got another bottle of High West. This is the Campfire. Now, it's a blend of two different whiskeys and maybe a scotch. Anyways, I'm a pretty good fan of the High West lineup. So I figured this one was, you know, good to add to the mix. So now I'm up to 4. I think they've got 6 or 7 in their lineup. So still a few more to buy, but I'm excited to try the Campfire. You know, it's going to be an interesting mix. But once again, that bottle was $21 off at Wine and Beyond. So, and this was all down in Lethbridge. I do find that the stores tend to have different sales based on whatever they're selling, because not all Wine and Beyonds are fairly similar in what they carry, but the sales will vary. So what else did I buy there? Okay, I did pull the trigger on the Old Forester 1920. It was a bottle that I've been wanting to buy. I've got most of the Whiskey Row series now, including Old Forester Statesman. Now, I really like the Old Forester 86. It's a real easy drinking bottle. It's tucked back in there. The 1870 original batch, once again, solid pour. The 1910, I like it so much, it was on sale yesterday, so I bought a backup bottle of that one. But this one wasn't on sale, the 1920, but it was the last bottle they had in the store. So I pulled the trigger on it. It was like $80-ish dollars. And like I say, I'm a pretty big fan of the Old Forester lineup, so I wanted to get it, to have it. I'm not going to open it yet. It doesn't need to be drank yet, but I wanted it to complete the series. I still need 1924, and that's going to be a hard one to find because that's not readily available. That is kind of a yearly or annually release or whatever. So stay tuned for 1924. Hopefully I find one. Hopefully I get lucky. What else? Okay, so here's my backup bottle of the 1910. Once again, this one was just about $17 to $20 off. So it went from being an $80 bottle to like, I don't know, less. I think I paid less than $58, I think, for this. So that was a real good deal, considering it's a bottle I really like. It's a drink I really enjoy. For that price point, I'm going to buy a second bottle. Now I can just enjoy the first one without worrying about running out. Right, so we'll go down here. So I'm not really a flavored whiskey guy, but I watched a video the other day where they were making mixed drinks, like just adding Coke to the whole Jim Beam flavored lineup. So I thought, well, that sounds fun. So, you know, I do have some Jim Beam product, so that's definitely a thing that, you know, I will drink this. You know, it will get consumed. I will find the other flavors. So then eventually that'll be fun. You know, I'll be able to try all of the flavors and have them. And if anybody else wants to come over and try them, you know, they're more than welcome, right? What's next in here? Okay, so I got the Knob Creek. I have the standard Knob Creek 9 hiding back here. I also have the 12. A very good bottle. I've got the Maple hiding back there as well. But the reason I wanted this one is this is a single barrel reserve at 120 proof. So this is going to be really I'm trying to up my proof game a little bit. You know, I typically like stuff around the 100 proof mark, but this should be fun to try and, you know, the occasional drink. And once again, I believe it was on sale. Maybe this one wasn't. This one was from Co-op Liquor down in Lethbridge. So yeah, the Co-op liquor store had it. The price point was good, $55, I believe. The Knob 12, if you want that bottle, you gotta look and wait for it to get on sale, because the normal price is like $150 or something like that. And as much as I think it's a delicious whiskey, I don't know that it's really worth $150. I found it on sale for $115, and for $115, definitely a bottle I'd have on my shelf. I'm going to treat it as semi-precious, though, because it's not like you find them everywhere, and it's not like they're always on sale. So, you know, I'm going to drink it. I'm going to enjoy it. But I think the Knob 9, the Knob 9s are both very good drinkers. So I really enjoy both of those. So, well, you know, those are just easy to drink, good. They're available everywhere, really good drinkers, and even a pretty good mixer. I mean, I don't really mix much of any of this stuff. I've gone pretty much just neat on everything nowadays. I hardly drink pop at all anymore, so I guess that's a good thing. And the last bottle, we got a Basil Hayden Toast. So I've been trying to get into toasted bottles. So I have the standard offering, Basil Hayden here. I think it's an 8-year, 6-year, 8-year, whatever. And I really wanted another toasted bottle in my collection. I have the Elijah Craig toasted, and I haven't drank a bunch of it yet. It's down here, toasted barrel. But it really is a good drinker. I do like it. So I wanted to try another toasted. I did end up missing out on a Michter's toasted the other day. I was supposed to get it. I didn't. I was a little bit disappointed, but I'm sure I'll come up with something somewhere. So anyways, that was my haul from yesterday. A lot of good bottles, a lot of interesting bottles. A lot of bottles I really wanted to try. The rabbit holes, super excited about those. Just based on recommendation. The Old Forester stuff, you really can't miss with that. You know, if there's, I mean, I don't really check comments and that, but you know, if there's something you want to see or you want to know about, because up in Canada here, we don't get the Heaven Hill bonded, but I found it when I went stateside. The Henry McKenna 10, found it stateside. You know, so I mean, I did bring back quite a few bottles from my trip down to the States. So as much as that's not Alberta bourbon hunting, at least, you know, like the Benchmark series. If you want to know how these are, I will be doing videos on them to tell you what my thoughts are. My thoughts on the Benchmark series is they're all excellent. So at least the ones I bought. So anyways, tasting videos will come once I get my bar set up. For now, I'll just be doing unboxings, I guess. Shoot a small video at the stores when I get there and see how things work out. Anyways, hopefully you find this a little bit entertaining, a little bit informative. If you're looking for deals, like I say, not all the Wine and Beyonds have the same sales. So check out multiple stores. You'll get multiple deals. You know, Co-op has been an excellent source of whiskey for me here. There's a bunch here that's from Co-op. You know, and then the smaller stores, you know, the liquor store here in Vulcan, I've bought some of these bottles from a Highway Liquor, you know, things like that. So anyways, deals are out there to be had, and the bourbon can be found. You just gotta go out and look for it. Anyways, have a good weekend.